Hi, everybody. This is Saad. Yesterday, I saw a tweet from the Times regarding an interview that they had conducted with former supermodel Paulina Porizkova. And in the interview, she says, quote, "I walk into a party, I try to flirt with guys, and they just walk away from me to pursue someone 20 years younger. I'm very single, I'm dressed up, I've made an effort, nothing." So for those of you who don't know, she's a supermodel, I guess, from the 80s, who is bemoaning at this point the fact that she doesn't have the same pull with men. So I responded to her because I thought that there was an important lesson here from an evolutionary perspective. And so I wrote, "Dear Paulina Poriskov, you are hardly invisible, but the fact that you do not have the same pull for some men is to be expected. I'm sure that innumerable men have been invisible to you as they approached you in your life. It's called reality. Dynamics change through life stages." And then all sorts of women started responding to me very angrily. One person said, "How dare you speak about this since you haven't lived that experience?" To which I responded, "You are a sharp one. How could a male gynecologist treat women when he's never experienced pregnancy or a menstrual cycle? And don't get me started on oncologists who've never had cancer. Frauds." So that the idea here is I'm not allowed to talk about this. I'm not allowed to talk about her pain at not being as popular with all men when she's now, I guess she's about my age, maybe 57. I don't have a right to talk about this because I haven't lived her experience. Of course, a an entomologist who studies ants is a fraud because how could he study ants? I mean, he's not an ant himself. So that's the kind of sharp luminaries we're dealing with. And then this morning I woke up and I was looking around and I saw that she had responded to many people, including myself, this meaning Paulina. And so to one person she writes, "Spoken like the dude that never got the hot girls." So then I responded to her, "Your response is rather nasty to the individual in question. Perhaps this partly explains your quote invisibility. It's always a good idea to age gracefully rather than wallowing in misplaced bitterness. Good luck." And then she writes to someone else, "Because the same guys who run the world today would have been long dead. Seems like evolution is serving only one section of the population." To which I responded, "Zero understanding of evolution. For most species, including human females, mate choice shaped the evolutionary trajectory of male morphology and male behavior. It's called sexual selection. So if anything, females in most species carry a lot more influence regarding the trajectory of the certainly male behavior and male morphology than the other way around. So, if anything, evolution is a very feminist uh, mechanism." And then finally, I noticed that she had responded directly to me when I had tried to, be very polite and say, "Look, it's up to for all of us to age gracefully." I mean, if I think about how I used to play soccer, I could just with a quick move of the hip and my speed get by four players, whereas today I was being outrun by my 10-year-old's soccer team, players. Uh, that's not because there is the matriarchy that has made me be slower. It's because my speed when I was 19 is not the speed that I have when I'm 57. And therefore, recognizing where we are in life and accepting it is certainly something that I might be discussing in my next book on the recipe for the good life. So I was really trying to be polite to her. So she writes to me, "Sounds like you speak from experience. I guess the hot babes weren't interested in you, huh?" So then my final response to her, "This is an unbecoming response of a serious adult. You are stuck in your irreverent, sassy, narcissistic teenage years, but your birth certificate says otherwise. Stay classy. Oh, by the way, my wife is very beautiful on the inside and outside. Be well." Now, why am I taking the time on a Sunday morning to do this? Because it actually speaks to parasitized minds. In this case, Paulina believes that, it's nasty, it's evil. Men are such pigs. They control evolution. Evolution only works for them. I used to be 20 years old where I could be nasty and mean and reject 1,000 guys in a night. And by the way, we know that she did that because look at her responses to me and all the other men who responded. Hey, you can't get the hot girl. So she's still stuck in that age when she was 17. And so I used to, demand attention and expect attention from every single guy in the room. But now that I'm 57, I don't have that same pull. Well, look, it's those disgusting men. It's not fair. It's not right. I'm getting nothing. Well, guess what? I used to have an 8 pack that is the foundation of how they build statues of Greek gods. Today, I don't have that 8 pack. So, therefore, I recognize that if I'm going to use my morphology to attract women, I'm going to have a harder time than when I was 19 and built like a god. Okay? It means I'm wedded to reality. Men's mate values increases with age because the attributes that women desire most, which is social standing, increases as a man goes through his life stages. Therefore, an 18-year-old, while he may be very attractive physically, doesn't typically carry as much weight on the mating market as a 38-year-old who may still be pretty attractive but is also a neurosurgeon and is socially dominant and is funny and has wisdom. So in every culture that's ever been studied, women rate your social status as much more important than men rating the social status of women. This is a human universal. So men's lot on the mating market improves as they age. It's not because of a conspiracy. It's called biology. It's called reality. Women's goes down. It goes down because Betty White is not as attractive to most men, may she rest in peace, I know that she passed away recently, than a 23-year-old nubile woman. That's not because the patriarchy is teaching men not to date and marry octogenarians. It's because mating preferences are rooted in adaptive solutions. Some of these adaptive solutions are the same across the sexes. Some are sex specific. It's called biology. It's called biology grade 9. But if you're a narcissist, if you've built your entire career on commanding attention of men, and now you're almost 60 and you say, boo hoo hoo, why aren't the super hot guys who are 30 as attracted to me when they could now get the attention of the 21-year-old? That's not fair. I used to be the 21-year-old who was super hot and everybody wanted me, and now I'm not. It must be because men are pigs. Evolution works for men's favor. That's what a parasitized mind does. What is good in life is to have a very clear understanding of the mechanisms that shape our trajectory. We age. We're not as sexually potent as we were when we were 20. We don't have the same abs. We don't run as fast on a soccer field. And by the way, the first one didn't apply to me. I'm just speaking generically. But in all seriousness, it is a fundamental feature of being a happy and well-adjusted person with a strong personhood to age gracefully. And I'm afraid that based on the responses that I've gotten directly from Ms. Paulina, she's not aging gracefully. So assume that this is some free psychological advice I'm giving you, Paulina, and to all other people out there who don't age gracefully. Accept your lot in life. As the Stoics explain to us, don't sweat things that you can't control. And you ultimately cannot control biology. You can't control reality. You can't control common sense. And no amount of conspiratorial patriarchal thinking, it's due to the patriarchy, is going to alter that. Have a good Sunday, everybody. Cheers.